At least 16 schools in Virginia are now under investigation for failing to give students their National Merit Scholarship Awards, which are a big deal. They can open a lot of doors academically and get you late at math camp. The Republican governor there called it a maniacal focus on equal outcomes for all students at all costs. You may not like him, but that accusation strikes a lot of people as true. And this is a bad issue for Democrats, because most Americans seem to agree if they're on an airplane, they want a cockpit that looks like America, but they'd also like someone up there who knows how to fly the plane.
Bill Maher is back at it again. And this time, Hollywood's so-called Nepo babies are taking the heat. The late-night fire starter just unleashed a scorching monologue aimed straight at the privileged offspring of Tinseltown's elite, tearing apart their "I earned it all myself" fairy tales. Maher admits, sure, a few of them work hard, but let's be honest, when your last name opens doors faster than a VIP pass, it's hardly the hero's journey. With his trademark wit and unapologetic bite, Maher delivers a reality check these dynasty darlings won't soon forget. He reminds viewers that in a town built on image, luck, and connections, talent alone isn't always what keeps the spotlight shining. So buckle up and grab a fan, because Maher's latest roast is burning hotter than a Malibu mansion in mid-July.
All the people who've been telling me, Bill, you have to do something on Nepo babies. Shut up, I don't have to. But okay, here it is. And if you haven't heard the term yet, here's a brief montage of all the Nepo babies in the acting profession, beginning with Douglas Fairbanks Jr. That's right, their moms and dads were all stars too. It doesn't make them bad people or untalented. In fact, some Nepo babies did very well in their first big roles. But let's also admit that they weren't the only ones who could have done it. But when it's between a few good people and one of them is going to get you this kind of publicity, who do you think is going to get the part? So enjoy the good life, Nepos. Just don't say you didn't have a huge advantage.
Exactly. That's been my take all along. Hollywood's Nepo babies love to claim they had it just as hard as everyone else. But let's be real, as Bill Maher perfectly puts it. When a star kid and a regular, hardworking talent are equally good, we all know who's getting the part. And spoiler alert, it's not the one juggling rent and ramen. These industry heirs don't just walk into audition rooms, they practically own the place before even reading a line. Why? Because their names print money. Studios know that a famous last name on a poster means instant buzz, free publicity, and an easy box office boost. That's not merit, that's marketing dressed up as hard work. So while they cry about proving themselves, the truth is, they started the race halfway up the ladder while everyone else was still knocking at the gate. Hollywood can keep pretending it's a meritocracy, but Maher just shredded that illusion beautifully.
Or it didn't matter that much who your parents were. Or it just got my foot in the door. This is f***ing show business. Getting your foot in the door is 80% of it. Yes, there are difficult roles that require acting only the great ones can do, but most acting, please, Vin Diesel can do it. Bodybuilders can do it. Children can do it. Steven Seagal can do it. I did it.
I had no idea Maher ever starred in a movie. But the man drives his point home with surgical precision. Most Nepo babies aren't terrible actors. They've got some talent, sure. But let's be honest, they're nowhere near the legends who clawed their way up from nothing. Their skills might be decent, but without that shiny last name on their resume, would Hollywood even return their calls? Highly doubtful. If their parents were working normal jobs instead of walking red carpets, most of these so-called rising stars would still be serving lattes, not signing autographs. It's not that they don't work, it's that they never had to start from the bottom like everyone else. The system was built to cushion their fall. Maher's point slices through Hollywood's illusion like a hot knife through Botox. Fame isn't earned the same way for everyone. These Nepo babies didn't climb the ladder. They were handed the penthouse key at birth.
Reality TV is acting like you didn't know that glass of wine was going to get thrown in your face. This is one reason why, of the top-rated telecasts on television, sports last year accounted for 94 of the top 100, because it is the last refuge of meritocracy in America. Show business is full of Nepo babies, Politics is full of Nepo babies. Even modeling, which used to require the integrity to find a freakishly perfect 14-year-old in a small Slovenian village, has fallen to nepotism.
Or Hollywood doesn't own the patent on Nepo babies. Politics is practically a family reunion, too. Sure, a few of these political heirs actually carry the torch with competence, but plenty of others, especially on the Democratic side, seem far more interested in signaling virtue than producing real results. Take Gavin Newsom, for example. Maybe he's not the textbook Nepo baby, but come on, his career didn't exactly start from the mailroom. The guy's plugged into the Pelosi dynasty, one of the most powerful political networks in the country. When your godfather is billionaire, Gordon Getty, and your aunt by marriage is Nancy Pelosi, doors don't open. They fly off the hinges. Newsom's smooth rise through California politics was paved with connections most Americans can't even dream of. That's why Maher's jab hits so hard. It's not just Hollywood basking in inherited privilege. Washington's been running the same rerun, just with different credits.
But in sports, there are no Nepo babies. There are the sons and daughters of former players, but it's not why they play. Layla Ali didn't knock out 21 opponents by smacking them with her birth certificate. Sports is the last place where it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, just what you do. No one gets hired either because it would make the team look like America or because their rich white daddy pulled strings. I don't trust the government, media, churches, judges, juries, banks, Jiffy Lube, anyone on a dating app covering their chin with their hand. But I do trust that the 450 players in the NBA are the absolute best 450 players the teams could find anywhere in the world.
That's spot on. Sports might be one of the last places where nepotism hits a dead end. You either have the skills or you don't. No family fortune, political connection, or fancy surname can save you when it's game time. The field, the court, the ring, they're the great equalizers. You perform, or you're benched. It's brutally fair, and that's what makes it beautiful. Politics could really take a page from that playbook. Unlike sports, political power shapes lives, economies, and futures. Yet we keep treating it like a family inheritance. If every politician had to earn their spot the way athletes do, through grit, results, and performance, this country would look completely different. No dynasties, no legacy seats, just competence. Politics shouldn't be a birthright. It should be a merit-based sport.
The fact that this kid's future in the NBA is not assured, in fact, it's the opposite of assured, that's very assuring to me. Everyone wants to see LeBron James' son play on the same team with his father. There hasn't been a feel-good story that feel-good since Macaulay Culkin escaped from Neverland. But just because we want to see it is not going to make it happen. Only Bronny James himself can do that. Doc Rivers' kid plays, but not because his father played, and so it's a great story. In sports, they don't tell each other stories. They perform.
That's exactly the kind of standard Americans should demand. Not just from athletes who deliver under pressure, but from politicians who actually get things done. We expect excellence from our sports icons. It's about time our leaders face the same scoreboard. Instead, the political class has traded performance for buzzwords. Diversity, equality, inclusion. They sound noble, and at their core, they are. Who doesn't want fairness or opportunity? But peel back the PR gloss, and you'll see how these ideals have been twisted into tools for tokenism and showmanship. Somewhere along the way, merit took a back seat to messaging. It's no longer about who's best for the job. It's about who checks the right boxes and pleases the loudest voices online. America doesn't need leaders who fit a narrative. It needs problem solvers who earn respect the old-fashioned way. Through results, not rhetoric.
Maybe that's why sports looks to me, at least on TV, like a place that has really good race relations. I mean, where else do you see a grown black man crying over his white coworker?
It's my quarterback.
Maybe that's why the far left seems so eager to seep into sports. Because it's one of the last places that still reflects what America's supposed to be about. Unity through diversity, and merit through hard work. Sports prove that greatness doesn't come from your race, wealth, or background. It comes from discipline, grit, and performance. On the field Everyone plays by the same rules, and the scoreboard doesn't care about your identity or ideology. That's what makes it sacred. Inclusivity has its place, but fairness must come first. If transgender athletes want to compete, fine. Create a separate division where everyone's on an even playing field. Sports should remain the one arena where effort, skill, and performance decide the outcome. Not politics, not narratives, just pure merit.
On the field or court, it's just about who can get me the ball, who can score for our team when we need it. They earn each other's respect, and the love follows. So why does America have that in sports, something that is, after all, just a diversion, but not for stuff that really matters? 42% of private colleges admit applicants based almost entirely on the fact that their parents are alumni. You get in if you work hard and your dad bought a building. These are called legacy admissions, although I will also accept entitled faith.
That's exactly why America's education system feels so diluted today. Because merit has been shoved into the back seat, while politics and privilege fight for control. Getting into top schools isn't just about brains or hard work anymore. It's about checking the right boxes. On one side, you've got DEI-driven admissions where ideology can outweigh achievement. On the other, you've got legacy admissions where kids of alumni get VIP access just for inheriting the right last name. Two different systems, same result. The best and brightest don't always make the cut. And the fallout is obvious. America isn't producing the intellectual powerhouses it once did. We've shifted from rewarding excellence to curating optics. The nation that once led the world in innovation is now tripping over its own politics. It's time to put merit back in charge, to let skill, intellect, and genuine effort, not connections or categories, define success again.
But it also must be said that in the interest of righting historical wrongs and evening out our despicable past, the concept of merit itself is now under attack everywhere but in sports. Instead of getting the kids who lag behind up to the higher standards, schools all over are eliminating honors classes. 80% of four-year colleges no longer require any standardized test for admissions. San Francisco's top-rated Lowell High School replaced merit-based admissions with a lottery in 2021, and the result was a threefold increase in D's and F's. Turns out getting rid of merit admissions just made kids feel worse about themselves, and that's what Instagram is for.
Exactly. What started as a noble, feel-good experiment has turned into a bureaucratic circus that prizes identity over intellect. The result? Lowered standards, fractured campuses, and a generation more fired up about activism than actual achievement. It's time to turn the tide. Students should earn success through effort, not inherit it through political favoritism. If America wants to regain its edge and restore its legacy of excellence, we have to make merit matter again. Because slogans don't build greatness. Hard work does.
The Republican governor there called it a maniacal focus on equal outcomes for all students at all costs. You may not like him, but that accusation strikes a lot of people as true. And this is a bad issue for Democrats, because most Americans seem to agree if they're on an airplane, they want a cockpit that looks like America. But they'd also like someone up there who knows how to fly the plane.
And in the end, Bill Maher's takedown of Nepo babies goes far beyond Hollywood drama. It's a mirror held up to America itself. From the red carpet to Capitol Hill to Ivy League halls, entitlement has become a national epidemic. Whether it's celebrity kids landing roles they didn't earn, politicians coasting on family names, or students getting golden tickets through DEI and legacy loopholes, the message is clear. Merit doesn't carry the same weight it used to. Maher's rant isn't just comedy. It's a warning shot. America became great because it rewarded grit, skill, and hustle, not privilege or identity. The moment we started valuing appearances over ability, we began losing what set us apart. But the fix is still within reach. If we can bring meritocracy back to the field, the classroom, and the halls of power, we can reignite what made this nation truly exceptional. The belief that success should always be earned, never inherited.